Now, the first thing you want to do is create a horizon line. The horizon line is the line that divides the sky from the land, and you're going to be doing this with yellow. Everyone's going to start with yellow no matter what color sunset or sunrise you want. Make sure you count to 5 when you hold your brush in the paint. Make sure you have a nice bright yellow. And you don't want to put your horizon line right down the middle horizontal across the page. You want to either be a little above or below that middle line, just to add some interest to your art. You don't want it to be too cookie cutter. You don't want yours to look exactly like your friends. So choose a little bit above or a little bit below the center. I like to go a little bit below, that way I have more sky. You may want more sky, you may want more water, it's up to you. Then as carefully and as straight as you can, you're going to create your horizontal line. Now once you have your horizon line where you'd like it, you're going to now decide where you would like your sun to be placed. You can do it right in the middle, you can do it on the left, you can do it on the right, or in between, either or. I'm going to do mine slightly off to the side on the right, and so we're going to make sure our sun looks like it's setting in the sky or it's rising. So we're only going to right along that horizon line, go up the hill and down the hill with our brush, and then we're going to fill it in with a nice bright yellow. And then you're going to grab a little more water on your brush, add a little more yellow. We're now going to add some light beaming from our sun with our yellow. I'm going to just do this by going back and forth with my paintbrush, purposely leaving white spaces for other colors that I can add to my sky. Now I'm not going all the way to the top of my page with my yellow. I'm only going about halfway in my sky. I want most of my yellow to be on the bottom near the sun, so that's where the light source is. And you notice I'm not changing directions with my paintbrush either. I'm staying side to side. I'm not going up and down or all around. I'm staying side to side. And of course those little windows of white paper is going to be really important when you go to add the extra colors. Now you're going to decide what your next color is going to be. So everyone started with yellow as their light source. Now you can think of any kind of color sunset you want. You can do red and orange, you can do light blue, dark blue, and purple to make it look like the sun setting at night. You decide what color scheme that you want. You could even do a little purplish pink in the sky, because as you've seen in the examples that I showed you, the sky can just be any color you can imagine. So be creative with your color choices. You can use up to 5 colors and as little as 3 if you like. I love this purplish pink, especially here in Florida. And in between my white spaces, I'm going to add some of that purplish pink. I love it when the colors mix a little bit with the yellow. And notice I'm focusing in the white spaces first. It's okay if the color overlaps a little. I'm staying in the same direction, going side to side, only using the very tip of my paintbrush so I can have lots of control. I'm going to fill in some large areas of pink, some small. When it gets to the yellow, I like to blend it a little bit once or twice so it's more natural. And instead of getting more color, I don't want to make it any darker. I'm just going to get a little more water and I'm going to spread the existing purple. It's okay if you accidentally get a little pink into your sun. So you can always rinse your brush, go back and fix it with just water. Or if it's super pink, then you can just go back in with some more yellow paint and fix it too. Alright, let's get some of that pink to go up in the sky a little bit more. I don't want to paint over my yellow, pre-existing yellow that I painted. I want to go in between. And as I'm working my way up with the pink, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave some white spaces for my next color so I can blend them in. Alright, so I've got pink starting in my yellow, working its way up, leaving lots of white spaces at the top for my darkest color. You always want to work light to dark because your light source is here, and what makes sense to start with dark and then go to light because this is your light source. Okay. My next color, decisions. I'm gonna go with this nice turquoise blue. And I'm gonna go in between my pink, just like I went in between my yellow with my pink. Blend the colors. Add all the turquoise into the white sections of my sky. I love it when that purple mixes with the blue. If the paint's too thick, just spread it with your brush with a little bit of water. Like this is starting to form a puddle here, so I'm going to take some water. I'm going to stretch that paint either off the page into my protective mat or blend it across the page. Still going side to side. I'm not changing direction. Filling in all of those white space areas. And I might add a few touches of blue down here, but not a whole lot. Most of my blue should be in the middle part of my sunset because, like again, I said the wet source is here, so you don't want too many dark colors towards the sun. I'm already thinking about what my next color is gonna be. I don't like how dark this is, so I'm gonna lighten it up by just adding water over to the top and blending it. Ooh, and you see how when the blue overlaps that yellow, it makes it real pretty green? Just added a fourth color to the mix without even planning it. Happy accident. Alright, so I am going to end my painting this little bit of white space that I have left with the darkest color. I'm going to do a dark blue, like an indigo night scene. Even those white space is important because it makes the colors look like they transition naturally. And I might add a little bit of dark blue over my light blue to give some highlights and shadows. And again, if it's too dark in some areas, you can always go back and add water and stretch that color out to lighten it up. I'm going to blend this a little more with some water. You can always blend it to look more natural with just the water. And you always go back while it's wet and fix it too. Alright, so there is my sunrise or sunset. And now it's time to do the water. Now for this particular work of art, our water is going to be reflecting our sky. So whatever you did in your sky, you're going to do to your water. But remember, your light source is here. So you're going to start with yellow. Going back and forth or side to side. Yellow's going to begin from that light source. leaving in the white spaces for the pink. I'm going to fill them in. Okay, make sure I gotta leave some white spaces with the pink too down here so I can add the blue. And then finally my blue. Did it in the same order as I did it in my sky, except my light source is here, so I went yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue. Just focusing on the white spaces right now, making sure that I fill them all in without covering up any of my previous colors. And the final color is the dark blue. Last step, usually I take just water on my brush, and any darker areas or puddles that I need, I start blending some of the colors in. Alright, there you have your sunset or your sunrise. You have your sky, your water, and next week we're going to add the land. So stay tuned for the next video.